It was reported back in September that former WWE Women's and Divas Champion Melina was on her way back to the company. That is yet to materialise, and Melina herself has shot the rumour down, but if she does return, let's just hope there's a little less drama than during her first run. I'm Andy for What Culture Wrestling, and here are 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Melina. Number 10. LITA kicked her out of the locker room. If you believe the rumour mill, Melina's first WWE run was peppered with the odd splash of backstage heat. One such report came from PW Torch, who claimed that LITA, the Hall of Famer and legend, even made the decision to kick Melina out of the locker room at one point, forcing her to change in the hallway. And while little more is known about this incident, it's definitely out there. Of course, the inherent and contradictory hypocrisy of WWE backstage culture is alive and well in this story. New talents are constantly told that they need to simultaneously respect elder wrestlers, but also ruffle a few feathers. That's a very tricky tightrope indeed, and a lot of people, well, they stumble. Number 9. A Legend Killer lingerie debut. While WWE would like you to remember that Melina debuted alongside Eminem, this wasn't quite the case, as she actually showed up a good deal before that, hired by General Manager for the night, Randy Orton. On the same night that Melina was hired, the Legend Killer hosted his own in-ring lingerie fashion show, and you guessed it, there was Melina. And of course, these days we've got ourselves a PG rating, so it's safe to say that WWE won't be playing clips of this anytime soon. Number 8. Her brief romance with Hornswoggle. Hornswoggle, as Vince McMahon's illegitimate son, is one of the all-time great so bad it's hilarious WWE stories, and at the end of it, Melina took it on herself to make the most of Little Bastard and his newfound position in the corridors of power. She wanted a shot at the woman's title, and what better way to do that than by seducing a leprechaun? Actually, come to think of it, maybe seducing isn't the right word here, because the extent of this relationship was Swoggle chasing a towel-clad Melina down to the ring, getting under said ring, and then stripping away the towel, and oh god, this era is just kinda gross really, isn't it? Number 7. That ring entrance. Once again, PG exists, so yeah, if Melina does return to WWE, they might need to rethink this one. Number 6. An old blog feud with Mickie James. Blogs, remember them? The days of LiveJournal and Blogspot and angsty emo missives are, for the most part, long gone, with social media replacing the humble blog for stars and fans alike. Regardless, Melina had her own blog back in the day, one that she famously used to shoot on one Mickie James, with whom she had issues with stretching back to their time together in OVW. It was a lengthy post to say the least, featuring all kinds of snippets of professional jealousy and accusations of plagiarism, with this being the choice quote. I thought that her fixation on me would die, but she continues to attempt to dress like me. She would even try saying certain phrases that I would say. She would try to do my entrance in class every day, and the weirdest thing is that nobody said anything about it. And on the post goes. Though it should be noted that Mickie and Melina made up in the years following this post, which came out in 2005, much to the delight of everybody involved. Number 5. Breaking kayfabe. Melina's career had stagnated somewhat by late 2010. This appeared to be fixed when she turned heel opposite the Divas champion Natalya, which appeared to breathe new life into her career. However, this was all going well only until January 2011, when Melina was squashed utterly by Natty, Eve Torres, and Brie Bella. This was a very strange decision given that Melina was #1 contender at the time, until you find out the reason. A series of out-of-character tweets where Melina vented about her on-again, off-again relationship with John Morrison saw her fall victim to punishment booking. WWE saw these tweets, didn't like them, and put the kibosh on her push, returning Melina to purgatory. In response, Melina claimed that her Twitter had been hacked, which may well have been correct, but it clearly didn't fly. Number 4. Kidnapping Trish Stratus. There are many different ways to earn yourself a championship opportunity in WWE, one of which is the tried and tested tactic of having your cronies kidnap the champion, tie her to a chair, and leave her in a fusty basement. This is exactly what Melina did when she wanted a championship match with Trish Stratus in late 2005. The challenger had Nitro and Mercury kidnap Trish from ringside, drag her backstage in a visual that has aged about as well as a 10-year-old carton of milk, and tie her up. All so that Melina herself could issue a fairly humdrum challenge that could probably have gone down in the ring without, all the kidnapping. The title fight went down at Survivor Series. Trish won, and somehow Melina became the third most important in her own damn match, eclipsed even by Trish's new superfan, Mickie James. Number 3, actually her entire heat with Trish. The classic, most iconic, most memorable moment of WrestleMania 27 is, of course, Snooki, gracefully gliding through the air, hitting that weird splash thing on Michelle McCool. This match actually drummed up real-life heat between Melina and Trish Stratus. The story goes that Melina was actually supposed to be involved in the match and was rather upset about not being booked. Melina then apparently put the blame on Trish, which led to her then boyfriend John Morrison refusing to discuss spots or ideas for the match. So not only did the frustration get the better of Melina, it dragged Morrison into it as well. But, we'll always have that Snooki tag, I guess. Number 2. Wrestler's Court. Wrestler's Court has always sounded like dumb as hell pettiness on steroids, a bullying culture at its most brainwashed, and another aspect of the wrestling business that should probably be consigned to the past. Despite this, it is very, very real, and Melina found herself in front of this most kangaroo of courts at the height of her first run with WWE. Now, the details are sketchy, but as Paul London tells it, Melina's case took place at 3 AM in a hotel room and was singularly designed to bring her to tears, with some wrestlers even taking bets on how long it was going to take before she began to cry. Whatever issues Melina had with the locker room, regardless of whether or not they were even justified, addressing them through this kind of backwards, toxic nonsense displays a caveman mentality that should have died, when the cavemen died. Subjecting a young woman to torrents of verbal abuse in a group setting wasn't the move, and it never will be. Number 1. Batista and backstage notoriety. A short-lived backstage fling between Melina and Batista came complete with a mountain of baggage, as the two of them got together after a short while when Melina was exiting a relationship with John Morrison and Big Dave was fresh off a divorce. This, of course, is no business but their own, but the gossip, insults and conjecture surrounding the situation, none of which I'm going to repeat here, actually made their way to television, when Melina seemingly tried to seduce Batista to remove him from a match with Eminem. It was an insulting, derisory attempt by creative to scratch a strange obsession with blurring the lines between fiction and reality. Either way, don't expect it to feature if Melina does return to the company. And rightly so. So that's our list, but what do you guys think? Go ahead and let us know down in the comments section below. After that, you can like, share, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Then, you can find us on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE and myself at Andy H. Murray, where you can tell me how wrong I am. Goodbye.